I'm an AI clone of Sheldon Sims. This content is AI altered. My niece is an astrophysicist. She studies black holes, real ones. She also hates AI clone content, thinks most of it is noise dressed up as insight. When I told her I was testing NotebookLM, she rolled her eyes. Then she asked the one question that changes everything. Can it actually help me research, or is it just another chatbot with a fresh coat of paint? That's the test, not whether NotebookLM is cool, whether it survives a real scientist's skepticism. Here's the setup. NotebookLM is Google's AI research tool. You feed it sources, PDFs, websites, YouTube videos, your own notes, and it builds a private knowledge base. Not a search engine, not a chatbot guessing from the internet, a closed loop trained only on what you give it. The promise is that it cites its sources. It generates summaries with links back to your documents. It doesn't hallucinate from the open web because it's not connected to the open web. 3 questions. That's what my niece agreed to evaluate. First, does it actually understand the research, or does it just remix sentences? Second, can it handle technical material, trace real astrophysics papers without breaking? Third, does it save her time or just create more work? This isn't a hype review. This is an audit. Data in, video out. Before my niece tears into this thing, let me show you how it works. Because most tutorials skip the operator's perspective. Step 1, create a notebook. That's your container. 1 notebook per project. Don't dump everything into one. Step 2, add sources. You can upload PDFs, paste website links, connect Google Drive files, drop in YouTube URLs. NotebookLM ingests them all into your private laboratory system. Here's what matters. It processes up to 50 sources per notebook. Each source can be up to 500,000 words. That's roughly the length of War and Peace multiple times over. Step 3, the chat. This is where most people get it wrong. They treat it like ChatGPT, ask a question, get an answer, move on. That's the amateur move. The operator's move is to ask it to compare sources. Compare what source A says about methodology to what source B says. That's where the citations actually matter. Step 4, saved notes. Every response can be pinned. You build a research document inside the tool itself. It's not a chatbot transcripty, it's a living document. There's more. Mind maps, audio, overviews, sharing links. But those 4 steps are the skeleton. Everything else is decoration. That's the system. Now let's see what happened when I handed it to someone who studies actual black holes for a living. I gave her access 3 astrophysics papers, 1 grant proposal draft, 2 YouTube lectures on gravitational lensing. She spent 4 hours with it. Here's what she found. What worked. The source grounding is real. When she asked it to summarize a paper's methodology, it pulled from the actual document, not some half-remembered training data. The citations linked back correctly. She verified them. For literature reviews, she said it cut her scanning time by roughly 60%. That's a real number from a real scientist. What broke? Technical depth has a ceiling. When she fed it a paper on Kerr black hole thermodynamics, NotebookLM summarized it competently at the undergraduate level. But when she asked it to identify a specific mathematical assumption in section 3, it paraphrased the section without actually identifying the assumption. The summary was correct. The analysis was surface level. Her words, it's a brilliant research assistant, not a research partner. It reads faster than I do, but it doesn't think. It surprised her. The audio overview feature, she expected it to be a gimmick. Instead, she said the AI-generated podcast format surfaced connections between papers that she hadn't noticed in her reading. Not because the AI is smarter, because because hearing the material in a different format triggered a different cognitive pathway. That's the honest report. No hype, just results. So where does this land for you, the creator, the researcher, the operator? NotebookLM is not a replacement for thinking. My niece made that clear, but it is a force multiplier for the grunt work that eats your time. Literature, review, source comparison, initial summary generation, the stuff that takes hours and produces no output. Here's how an operator integrates this. You don't ask NotebookLM to write your conclusions. You ask it to organize your input so you can reach conclusions faster. The distinction matters. Manual mode equals time leak. The workflow: feed it your research sources, ask comparative questions, pin the useful responses, export the notes. Then, and this is the operator's move, verify the citations before you publish anything. The tool cites its sources, but it's your name on the content. Trust but verify. My niece's final verdict: I'd use it for literature reviews. I wouldn't use it for original analysis. And I'd never skip the verification step. That's the standard. If it passes an astrophysicist's scrutiny for research assistance, it'll handle your content research just fine, but it won't do your thinking for you, and honestly, you don't want it to. If you made it here, you're already thinking like an operator. Trust the system. I'm Sheldon Sims. I'll see you in the next one.